And it looks like they've started. So we're going to be going into the first kingdom after skipping a cutscene here, Cap Kingdom. It's a pretty straightforward. You just want to climb to the top of the hat tower that we'll see in a moment, and then defeat the boss waiting for you up there. So if you're a new viewer and you haven't seen runs of this game, you'll notice that Mario is getting a little yellow sparks while he's rolling. And every time that happens, that indicates that we are moving at the fastest possible movement speed for him in that state. And that's only possible to get that quickly and consistently with the motion controls. So Tech and the Hunter Hack are about to enter this room where they have to capture a frog. And that's the whole gimmick of this game. You throw your cap at your enemies and you can put Mario basically inside them with some mind control and gain their abilities. And the frog's ability is being able to jump super high. And it looks like Tech just finished up Cap Kingdom. Sorry, chat, if my mic was acting weird. Just let me know if it's fixed now. And Tech is coming up onto Cascade Kingdom right now. Both of them are actually. And we have a really cool skip here. What we do is we capture a dinosaur a little past this big rock wall that we're about to break and bring down as a bridge. And then there's a trampoline under a couple of rocks. And what you want to do is have the dinosaur, while it's under the mind control of Mario, have his left foot step on the trampoline and get a super high jump, and then jump out of the dinosaur right at the height of his jump and dive onto the stage for the boss. And doing that, you can trigger the cutscene for the boss and enter the fight without having to do the rest of the level. And already we see the difference in movement options that Mario has. The Tech took a triple jump off the hat and then a couple of wall kicks to get up to where the dinosaur was, and the Hunter Hack decided to opt for a backflip into a cap dive. And it looks like Tech has some trouble getting the dinosaur's foot onto the trampoline, and so does the Hunter Hack. But Tech manages to get up there after a few times of circling around, and so does the Hunter Hack. And it looks like Tech is using the fast strats for this boss. You can backflip onto the chain chomp and stun him while he is spinning towards you. And it does look like we have in between a 20 or 30-second time difference right now. Pretty good, all things considered, considering their PBs. And we're about to enter into Sand Kingdom right now, and we're gonna we might see some route differences depending on what choices these runners make and depending on what they're most comfortable with. Both of these runners seem to have no problem with the first two kingdoms. It looks very practiced from both of them. Aside from the ever frustrating dino skip. And yes, I'd be happy to tell you the PBs again. Their PBs are Texstrobe is 23rd with a 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 30 seconds from yesterday. And the Hunter Hack is 128th with a 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 9 seconds from 15 or 16 days ago. So if you haven't seen this game before and you've been trying to keep yourself away from spoilers except for speed runs, I guess. There's a lot of ice in this desert, which is kind of strange, but that's just because Bowser. And it looks like Tech goes for a pretty cool trick and gets it. You can actually roll off that building and get an instant pipe in there. I do run this game. I currently have a mid 113 time, I believe. And it looks like Tech is going for the triple jump to get the bird out of the pipe. And is able to get it. That is a pretty tricky jump to do if you're not super comfortable with it. You kind of have to make sure that your height is all right for each stage of those jumps. It looks like the Hunter Hack is not going for the bird at this stage, so he might pick it up at the end. And there's a cool trick that Tech is coming up on here. He's gonna jump onto this ice pillar to get up to the next platform, and you can manipulate the bullet bill to the left so that it comes around, and then you can grab that moon, then grab the bullet bill as it follows you back. And it looks like he accidentally kills it. And the Hunter Hack manages to keep the bullet bill alive, but then kind of rolls off without jumping. Has a little bit trouble recovering, but is able to. Ooh, and has to wait for 2 bullet bills. This cannon has a pretty long cycle, actually. It's about 5 to 7 seconds, so that is a bit of a time lost on top of falling off of the platform. it looks like the hunter hack is going for adding Sphinx into his route. When you do this, you don't really have to worry about coins. Coins are pretty important in this run. I'm not sure, but looks like he might be having some technical difficulties, so might be a capture card issue or something like that. So yeah, when you add Sphinx into your route, you don't really have to worry about coins all too much. There's more than 100 in there, and we do need 200 coins for this route, so the hunter hack won't be worrying too much about that. And it looks like the hunter hack gets a little bit of a bonk and dies in the Sand Kingdom, in one of the worst places to die. Luckily, he does have the game checkpointed him at exiting Sphinx. And it looks like for Hunter Hack to get his last few moons, he's gonna do something a little weird. the Hunter Hack is entering into Lake Kingdom here. There are a few cool jumps in here, like this first one he's about to go for. And it looks like the Hunter Hack is going for these fast strats on this yellow hat boss. A couple of backflips make him look like a bit of a joke. He can be pretty frustrating on the first playthrough when you don't know how to deal with it. So the Hunter Hack is entering into Wooden Kingdom, which has some pretty cool movement, and there's a important jump in here. It's not a difficult jump per se, but if you do miss it, you do end up falling into the deep woods, which is very bad for a speedrun. So that was the main capture of this kingdom, the uproot. We use motion controls to kind of get his legs to stretch up a little bit faster. So the hunter hack is coming up on a opportunity for a pretty cool jump here. We'll see if he goes for it. You can make a triple jump off of the corner railing here and make it over to the island without pressing the P switch, which kind of makes a path over to it for you. And it looks like he goes for the flower road. And this is a pretty hard thing to do, personally, and I see a lot of trouble with it in past races. Getting that uproot to stretch up after just leaving the ledge, so that you can get up to the second platform. And the hunter hack just finishing up the Wooded Kingdom, and we're going to move on to Cloud Kingdom after this. The game kind of, on your first playthrough, it kind of tricks you, telling you you're going to finally go to Metro Kingdom, which was heavily advertised while the game was still kind of not released yet. But then it forces you into a boss fight with Bowser, and you have to go through a whole other kingdom to get to Metro Kingdom. And it looks like the Hunter Hack is having a little bit of trouble with Bowser. If you hit his hat a little too close to him, he'll grab it back, and you'll have to go through a phase of him jumping. And for this particular fight, the first Bowser fight, the white hat doesn't spin around very much after it goes out, so it kind of just goes around and then goes back to Bowser pretty immediately. You don't have a chance to like catch it on the way around that much. And Tech just leaving Sand Kingdom here. About to enter Lake Kingdom. So the Hunter Hack here is coming up on a pretty difficult but important jump. You have to triple jump off the highest point of that tree's leaves there so that you can get around to this back area. And the reason we do that is because there's a bird Klepto, and if you go down the intended path for this kingdom, he will steal Cappy, and you have to go through a little bit of platforming without him, kind of similar to the way the Super Mario Sunshine secrets work without having Flood. And right there we see the Hunter Hack go walk up to Klepto actually. And we have to do that because to get a few moons we have to go into the area where his trigger is. So if you don't get him if you don't move up next to him and trigger him before getting those moons, you will actually get your hat taken when you go down there. And the Hunter Hack taking an intentional death there to warp back to the Odyssey. It is possible to get that out of there without dying, and it is a little bit faster if you do it all correctly. But yeah, it is a bit of a time loss if you do end up bonking. And Tech just finishing up the boss for Lake Kingdom, making short work of Rango. Finally, the Hunter Hack is going to be entering Metro Kingdom, and the first time we see this kingdom, it is at night. And we do a little bit of a a kind of difficult jump for people newer to running this game. It basically skips a super large portion of the level and allows you to get up to almost like the final portion of it. And it looks like the Hunter Hack opts for going on top of this building here in order to make the jump to this girder a little bit more lenient. And it looks like he does bonk off the building, taking a death. And Tech is just entering Wooded Kingdom here, opting to go for the rock first. So you can actually pick up this rock, and then just by running into another rock while Mario has it, it'll break. But it looks like he's deciding to kick it around a little bit. And the Hunter Hack here is coming up to one of the most difficult parts of the run, in my opinion. It's a very input-heavy room, and one misstep with the inputs can be very bad. And the fixed camera angle doesn't help really at all. And we'll see if the Hunter Hack goes for a pretty dangerous jump here. It looks like he will go for it. And makes it no problem. And Hunter Hack decides to opt for getting that extra hard there. Probably for the Wiggler fight, maybe so he doesn't have to worry about taking damage as much. And Tech here in Wooded Kingdom has there's a choice you can make with the routing here. You can actually go into the lake pipes first, or grab the teleport checkpoint. And judging from the camera setup, it looks like he's going for lake pipes first. And it looks like the Hunter Hack may be able to 2-cycle this Wiggler boss here. And he does get it. In the speedrun, we really want to get that as fast as possible, beating the Wiggler boss. It is upwards of a 20 to 30 second time loss if you do miss getting the cycles on that. And it looks like Tech went for a pretty cool strategy there. You can roll off that for a little speed going into the other side of those platforms. And the Hunter Hack is going for a trick here. You can hold capping next to that electric wire and do the homing attack right after you grab the moon there and instantly go to that electric wire. And it looks like the Hunter Hack's having a little bit of trouble with the RC car. The controls are a little weird, no matter who's playing with it. And it looks like Tech is going for the cool triple jump in Wooded that we were talking about earlier, and makes it no problem. And if you didn't have a chance to check out the triple jump, we're about to see. We saw it again just now. And it looks like the Hunter Hack doesn't make the jump over to the garbage dump moon. That is a little bit of climbing that he has to do for that now. And the Hunter Hack is coming up on a ground pound moon, and the way we find this is either by counting the tiles, or there's a black and white NPCs that you can see there, and if you were to draw some lines, where their lines cross is where the moon is. And the Hunter Hack just talked to Pauline, an old friend of Mario's from the arcade days, and she wants some musicians for a little show that she's going to put on. She wants 4 of them, but we're only going to get 2. But that's fine, because they are a drummer and a bassist. Otep. The Hunter Hack just grabbed the last moon from Mr. Otep there, and we'll see if he goes into snow or seaside first. Yeah, it will probably be snow because he did grab Sphinx, so he won't have to worry about coins. In the seaside route, we do grab about 40 to 50 coins, depending on what you do with the enemies underwater. And that can make up for any deficit you have leaving Metro. And it looks like Tech is going for a perfect cloud here. Right now, the Hunter Hack's coming up on one of my favorite characters in the franchise, Mr. Captain Toad. If you don't know who he is, his story is he's not able to jump because his backpack is too heavy. And in this game, we find him in some pretty crazy places where you wouldn't think it would be able to get there without jumping. So and the Hunter Hack is just coming in to our second shop moon and our last one in the run. You can actually just walk a few steps forward to talk to this guy, and he'll still give you the moon. And Tech's just entering Lost Kingdom. Let's see how he does with his first jump. It looks like he does take a bonk. That is a very hard jump to make. So in the room that Hunter Hack is in right now, these enemies are kind of blowing gusts of winds. And if Cappy is thrown into the line of sight of one of those, he'll be blown away. So just like that, just what happened to Hunter Hack there. So we want to get to this guy before he has a chance to blow Cappy away. And in the worst case, this guy would also blow Mario into the poison, and you'd have to start the room from the beginning. And Hunter Hack is deciding to opt for a little bit of safer long jump. You can do one from a platform a little farther back, but it is a little scary. And it looks like the Hunter Hack wants to show off a little bit of a clip. You can clip through the wall here and then get over, and it just misses it. You can get over to that area and get down to the race area early without having to get all the moons in the rooms. And it looks like Tech goes for the Deathless strat on the last Lost Moon King, the last Lost Moon, and makes it out pretty well. And the Hunter Hack just finishing up Snow Kingdom here. And the Hunter Hack is just entering Seaside Kingdom. There's the first jump in here is not this jump, but the jump after this. It's pretty tricky to make. It's kind of similar to the Metro Kingdom. You have to make sure to get enough height to clear that ledge up there. Now, one of the ways that we help with doing that is to throw Cappy against the wall, like you're seeing the Hunter Hack here do. It gives Mario a little bit of extra height. And it looks like the Hunter Hack gets it on his third try. And Tech making the Metro skip jump on his first try. And it looks like the Hunter Hack is going for the chest moons in here. So the Hunter Hack is coming into another cheap capture here, and it's been found that actually doing that little boost that he's doing, the spin boost, is not actually faster than just swimming normally. It does help when you're trying to surface or dive though, and change the velocity pretty quickly. Yes, in pars. There has been video evidence. Somebody swims across the whole match, or the whole. Somebody swims across the whole map with both methods, and they both end at the same time almost. And it looks like Tech is able to get that 2-cycle wiggler. And the Hunter Hack just grabbed the first moon in Luncheon Kingdom. Also one of the harder kingdoms in this run. And yes, chat, Japanese is the faster language. I believe it has been found to be 11 seconds faster than English and maybe 4 or 5 seconds faster than Chinese. And the Hunter Hack just barely making it onto that mountain there. And there are a bit of a routing choice you can make in luncheon. It looks like the Hunter Hack is opting to go for the Magma Room later instead of taking the Forks Room. And these Pan Bros in Luncheon Kingdom, where the Hunter Hack is now, still work on the kind of RNG that the original Hammer Brothers from the Super Mario games work. But it looks like he's able to use a strategy that lets him get that switch pretty quickly. And it looks like Tech is taking a little snapshot with Mr. Otep here. And the Hunter Hack is just finishing up Luncheon Kingdom here, and we'll see a pretty cool moment in any Mario game in the next kingdom here. So this dragon fight isn't the hardest thing in the world, but it is very surprising to see in a Mario game. And it looks like the Hunter Hack takes a death there. And the hunter hack just finishing up that dragon fight. EOD Tex, I believe Yoshi is a dinosaur, actually. And the hunter hack's coming up to one of my favorite kingdoms, Bowser's Kingdom. It has some of the greatest music in the game, in my opinion. And it looks like the hunter hack is going to climb on this roof here so we can grab 2 moons at once without having to do too much movement. Tech taking the death there with the Ice Rango battle. We usually don't do that, but since we did have some technical difficulties, he is deciding to play around with the route a bit. And it is a very frustrating fight, as to get on top of him, you kind of have to do a jump like that and get some pretty good height. And it looks like Tech is using the moon platform actually to not be slipping around. And apparently the shop guy says OTEP too. Looks like the hunter hack is going for some fast strats on this topper fight. You can jump on him while he's in his hat. Looks like he misses that second one. And this is a very long kind of cycle to deal with. So if you go through the whole thing in a speed run, it is a little disappointing. And yes, the bunnies' names are Harriet, Rango, Spewart, and Topper. Some people like to call Spewart Frank, because he just kind of looks like a Frank. And the hunter hack's just going into the Harriet fight. You can actually walk up to her and then back up, and she'll throw her bombs immediately. Doesn't look like he's going for that. He's just gonna wait for her. And the Hunter Hack just finishing up those brutal fights. And now he's gonna climb Bowser's castle to get to Bowser's Keep, where we'll go into one of the most frustrating fights of the run and speed run. And if it goes wrong, but it can also go very well, which is super hype if you do get it all good. And yes, Isaiah, we might see Cave instead of Moonskip, which is something we usually never see. And it looks like the Hunter Hack is going to use the bird for this fight. It is possible to get on top of this wooden Gundam without the bird, but it is a little easier to do with the bird. And it looks like the Hunter Hack falls off the mech there. And as you can see, it's a bit of a time loss in when you're doing a speed run. And the Hunter Hack just finishing up the Mecha Brutal fight. And he'll be off to Moon Kingdom next. Where we might see a skip, or we might not. And for those of you who were expecting this race to go a little faster and may have to leave in a little bit, make sure to follow all the Speed Gaming channels. There will be plenty more Super Mario Odyssey in this month and in January, as that's when the bracket stages start. And I'm sure both of our runners would appreciate a follow, as would I as your commentator. And yes, that is right, Leslie Pro. There are plenty of other games going on the Speed Gaming channels almost every day. And it looks like the Hunter Hack is going into the cave level, which we normally don't see in the any percent run since there is a skip for it. And it does look like he knows a bit of strategies for this room. I actually didn't know you could get onto those pillars. This race is quite awkward. Everandia. It's a little awkward to commentate on it too. And you can already see from the Hunter Hack's run of this room that it is pretty time consuming, and he's not even close to halfway through it. So DAP, I think Hunter Hack is just pausing out of muscle memory. I know after messing up I tend to pause and just reset immediately. It looks like the Hunter Hack tried to capture Bullet Bill in the middle there of a jump, but you actually can't throw Cappy twice in the air after hitting an enemy like that, kind of. It looks like the Hunter Hack isn't going for using the charging chucks for these rolling rock sections. They're one of the cooler captures in my opinion in the game, but we unfortunately don't get to see them in the 90% run because we don't ever enter this level usually. And at the end of this level, we're gonna see the second battle with the Brutal and Cascade Kingdom, actually. And this time, Chompykins will be wearing many more hats. And that's the boss of the kind of final level in Moon Kingdom. And so you can either choose to go in that cave and do that, or just do Moon Skip, which takes like, I don't know, 6 seconds. And it looks like he's gonna go down and jump down and do Moon Skip anyway, just to show us what it's all about. So there it is, Moon Skip. You can either do that or go through that entire level. Yeah, that was a bit of a stranger Moon Skip for me too as well, Corvallis. Tech here on the left side, just finishing up Ruined Kingdom, entering Bowser's Kingdom now. And Tech looking to have a pretty great movement in the first steps of Bowser's Kingdom. Thanks, Isaiah, for the shout out. It is a bit of a challenge, and I was looking forward to my first solo commentation. So Bit of a downer, but it's alright. And it looks like Tech goes for Harriet first. Let's see how his Bomb Bunny strats are. You can make Mario spin by just spinning the control stick, actually. Blue guy. And it looks like the Hunter Hack is our winner for this kind of strange race. But Tech still has one more race to go, and he won his last one. So there's still a very good chance of him getting into the bracket stages. And Tech getting the first time moon skip. Very impressive. So for all of you viewers still watching at home, we have another race on the Speed Gaming 2 channel coming up today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be Monado Purge and Baga Jr., if that's the correct way to say that. We also have another race today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time between Cookie Apocalypse and SWC 19. And SWC 19 had a race yesterday, I believe. I believe he did win. And that will be on the Speed Gaming 3 channel. And there is another race going on at that same time, along with the Cookie Apocalypse versus SWC 19, and that will be Grand Pooh Bear versus the JKB on the Speed Gaming 2 channel. I know I will be checking that out personally, as Grand Pooh Bear is one of my favorite streamers. And then there will be another Super Mario Odyssey race today at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have one at 6, 2 at 8 o'clock, and another one at 9:30. Make sure to tune in and follow the Speed Gaming channels to check those out. And I'm sure, just again, both of our runners, I'm sure would appreciate some follows, as would I as your commentator. And with both runners having finished the game, that concludes our race. I am unfortunately not available to do any interviews for them, and it has run a little longer than expected. So we hope that I'm sure the runners hope you enjoyed watching them, and I hope you enjoyed the race and the commentary. Make sure to tune into the Speed Gaming channels for the upcoming Super Mario Odyssey Any Tournament races coming up. There are at least 3 more today, and there will be plenty more in this month and more in January as the bracket stages starts. Thank you guys for watching.